Not every breakup ends with yelling, cheating, or obvious hate, because some relationships end quietly and still hurt just as deeply.
Sometimes the relationship ends, but the pain stays. And while people move forward with their lives, you remain stuck in a moment that already passed.
Today we're talking about the two paths people take after a breakup. One that leads toward healing, and another that keeps you tied to the past.
We'll share two honest perspectives without blame, excuses, or pretending, focusing on the truth about breakups most people rarely talk about.
This conversation isn't about deciding who was right or wrong, or replaying the same arguments over and over again.
It's about understanding how to let go in a healthy way, and how people unknowingly trap themselves long after love ends.
A healthy breakup doesn't mean it didn't hurt. It means you chose honesty over comfort, even when comfort was tempting and familiar. Most people imagine a healthy breakup as something calm and mature, where both people say the right words and walk away with dignity. But in real life, healthy breakups are rarely clean. They are heavy. They are emotional. They come with moments of doubt, where you question if you're making a mistake simply because staying would hurt less in the moment. What makes a breakup healthy isn't how peaceful it looks from the outside. It's whether it's rooted in truth. A healthy breakup happens when you stop negotiating your needs. When you stop convincing yourself that asking for the bare minimum is asking for too much. It's the moment you realize that love without effort, presence, and accountability slowly turns into emotional exhaustion. For me, a healthy breakup meant facing the fear of being alone instead of staying somewhere I felt unseen. It meant choosing long-term peace over short-term comfort. And that choice didn't feel strong or empowering at first. It felt like grief. It felt like loss. It felt like mourning a future that would never exist. A healthy breakup is not cutting someone off in anger. It's not pretending you never cared. And it's not staying connected out of guilt or habit. Healthy endings require emotional discipline. They require you to sit with discomfort instead of escaping it through distractions or false hope. It means accepting silence as part of healing. It means allowing distance to do what words can't. And slowly, painfully, it teaches you that walking away wasn't abandonment, it was self-respect.
People don't get stuck in the past because they love too deeply. They get stuck because they never made peace with the ending. Being stuck doesn't always look like heartbreak on display. Often, it looks like emotional limbo. You keep going through the motions of life, but part of you is still living in a time that no longer exists. You replay moments, analyze texts, and imagine alternative versions of the same story. Being stuck means you confuse attachment with connection. You tell yourself you're holding on because it mattered, when in reality, you're holding on because letting go feels like losing control. Hope becomes the anchor that keeps you in place. Not hopeful growth, but hopeful return. And as long as you believe the past might come back, you don't fully show up for the present. When you're stuck, your memory becomes selective. You remember who they were at their best and ignore who they were when you needed them most. The pain fades faster than the fantasy, and the past slowly turns into something idealized instead of something honest. Many people stay stuck because they never grieve properly. They didn't just lose a person, they lost routines, shared dreams, and a version of themselves they were attached to. Instead of grieving that loss, they keep it alive through memories. But staying stuck doesn't protect you. It delays healing, and the longer you stay there, the harder it becomes to imagine a future that feels just as meaningful.
Letting go doesn't mean pretending the relationship didn't matter. It means honoring what it was without allowing it to control what comes next. So many people stay emotionally tied to the past because they believe letting go means erasing love. But letting go is not denial, it's acceptance. It's recognizing that love can exist without access, without communication, and without continuation. Guilt often shows up disguised as loyalty. You feel guilty for healing faster than expected, guilty for laughing again, guilty for imagining a life that doesn't include them. But guilt is not a sign you should go back, it's a sign you're stepping into something unfamiliar. Letting go in a healthy way means releasing the fantasy, not the memory. You stop romanticizing what could have been and start respecting what actually was. You accept that good moments don't cancel out ongoing pain. Moving on means trusting yourself again. trusting that you can survive endings, trusting that you don't need to suffer to prove love was real, and slowly, you learn that peace feels quieter than chaos but far more stable. Forgiveness begins when you stop judging yourself for loving deeply. Healing begins when you stop apologizing to yourself for choosing better.
If you're watching this and you still feel connected to the past, understand this: nothing about that makes you weak. It means you cared, and caring leaves marks. Healing doesn't happen all at once. It happens in layers. You move forward, then stumble back, then move forward again. Some days feel light, others feel heavy for no clear reason. That's not failure, that's processing. A healthy breakup doesn't mean the pain disappears. It means the pain stops controlling your decisions. It means you stop letting yesterday decide what you deserve tomorrow. You don't need to wait for closure that may never come. You don't need to understand every detail. Acceptance doesn't require answers. It requires courage. Sometimes the hardest thing isn't letting go of a person. It's letting go of the version of life you imagined with them. But when you do, you make space for something real, something grounded, something that doesn't require you to lose yourself to keep it. In that moment, when you finally choose forward over familiar, that's where healing truly begins.
If this video reached you at a moment where your heart feels heavy, where memories still show up uninvited, I want you to know something important. Healing doesn't mean you stop feeling. It means you stop letting those feelings decide your worth. You're allowed to miss someone and still choose yourself. You're allowed to remember love without going back to pain. Nothing about moving on erases what you shared. It simply honors the fact that you've grown beyond it. Sometimes the bravest thing you can do is accept that a chapter ended not because you failed, but because it taught you everything it could. And holding on longer wouldn't change the lesson, it would only delay the next one.
And if you recognize yourself as someone who's been stuck, waiting, replaying, hoping, please hear this clearly. Your life is not on pause just because your heart hasn't caught up yet. You don't need to punish yourself by staying in the past to prove that what you felt was real. Love doesn't demand suffering as proof. There is a version of you in the future who is calmer, lighter, and more at peace, and they're not created by going backward. They're created by choosing forward, even when it feels unfamiliar.
Healing doesn't come from forgetting. It comes from accepting. And acceptance doesn't arrive all at once. It arrives quietly, through small choices you make every day. Choosing distance, choosing honesty, choosing yourself.
As you close this chapter, remember that your value was never tied to their ability to see it. The ache you feel today is simply the stretching of your heart as it expands to hold a bigger, more resilient version of your future. Trust that the universe isn't taking things away just to leave you empty. It is clearing the wreckage to make room for a foundation that actually supports your growth. Be patient with your shadows, celebrate your small wins, and know that the most beautiful parts of your story are the ones you are about to write.
Healing from a breakup isn't a straight line. It is a quiet, courageous reclamation of who you are when no one is watching. Right now, it might feel like you are standing in the middle of a void, but I want you to see that space not as emptiness, but as fertile ground. You have spent so much energy pouring your love into a vessel that couldn't hold it, and now, finally, that love is flowing back toward you. This transition is your invitation to rediscover the hobbies, the peace, and the self-worth that may have been dimmed.
So wherever you are right now, trust this letting go isn't the end of your story. It's the moment you finally make space for a healthier one to begin.